Greetings and thanks for dropping by for the latest edition of Mentor Mike's Market Movie. Today is Monday, April 16, 2012, and let's get started. $50 times normal speed. The moving averages look somewhat bullish, but our oscillators look bearish. Notice that we've made a high here, according to the Donchian channel. Okay, the parabolic is now bullish, but again, the oscillators are looking very bearish, and we've just changed back to bearish on the parabolic as our stochastic drops into the lower half of the scale here, so I think that's a pretty good sign for us to get short. Okay, now let's pause that and draw our arrow before we forget. Okay, the stochastic is crossed, the MACD is getting close, parabolic's about ready to flip, and there it goes. So let's get long now. And that was a quick one. Let's see if we get another opportunity here on this move. We'll need to have the price pull back a little bit. Let's see. Alright, the price bars pulled back below the blue, and now they're starting to go back above. We've got a little bit of a pullback on our stochastic, and it too will break to the upside if this keeps moving up. So let's first draw the arrow, wishful thinking here, and let's get long and turn the data back on. Okay. All right. Now, the stochastic and the MACD have both made bearish crossovers, and we just had the parabolic flip, and we've got plenty of room to move lower, so let's get short. Incidentally, we are in the day session now. We just passed the 6:30 a.m. Pacific time mark, so this could be our first delta turning point of the day. We'll have to see how that works out. All right, we've gotten short. Let's center our dome screen and turn the data back on. All right, let's pause the data and draw our arrow. And now we'll see if we get another opportunity on the short side here. We need either a corrective bounce up or at least a sideways consolidation before we get short again. We get a few price bars north of that blue moving average. There's one, two, there's another one. Alright, I suggest that this little pullback in the vicinity of this long term is a respite before the market sells off again, based on the fact that our MACD and stochastic still look pretty bearish. We do have to break through this support zone in the form of the long-term moving average, though. Go ahead and draw the arrow. I'll save us from doing it later. All right. Okay, the stochastic's about ready to cross. MACD's getting closer. Oh, there is the parabolic. Let's go ahead and get long. Price is getting close to that stop, and it stopped us out before the parabolic even got there. Let's see if we have enough movement to the upside to at least hit the first target once again. We're down here pretty low, but look at the Stoch and the MACD. Very, very bullish, plus our parabolic is still way down here. So let's get long. Back this up a little bit. And let's engage in some wishful thinking. Draw another green arrow and see what happens. No, hit that first target, no problem. And the second target. That's what we like to see. Okay. We are in a bearish alignment here, red, white, and blue, even though our oscillators are giving us mixed signals here. We do have some bearish droop here on the MACD, and the stochastic's about ready to cross bearishly, so let's take a chance on the short side here. Okay, another dual target hit. Okay, now what's going on here? We've got the stochastic in a bullish crossover. We flip the parabolic to bullish. This is bending in that direction, the MACD, but not quite there. Hard to say what we've got going on here. There weren't really any clearly discernible subwaves in this initial drop. So I really don't know what's going on. When that's the case, it's usually a situation where we've got some kind of corrective pattern. So this whole mess could be a corrective pattern, and we're just going to have to go by our gut feel and the indicators. And right now, I'm thinking this thing wants to go higher, but what we could do is wait until we get a more definitive view of this white moving average. So let's just start this up again. I've got it going full speed. Whoop, went down there pretty good. All right, now notice it's gone bullish again, but the stochastic's breaking above. This thing actually made a bullish crossover right there and stayed there even despite this zigzag. So I think we've got a good shot at something to the long side, especially since we're about ready to break above the red here. So let's get long and start her up. Oh, before we do that, go ahead and draw the arrow. All right. Notice we're hitting resistance here at the long-term moving average. Okay, all right, now we've got long-term stochastic rising, we've got a bullish hook on the short term, and we still have essentially a triple red, white, and blue bullish alignment on the MACD here. So I think there's a good chance this thing's going to break out of here. Plus, notice that we have a 1, 2, 3 bottom for all you old Ken Roberts people. That's a sign that this thing wants to take off to the upside. We're going to have to bust through this level of resistance, though, but I think we're going to do it. So let's get long and okay, that was a good one. got a cross on the stochastic. And on the MACD. Alright. Well, let's give this thing a ride on the short side. Yep, stopped out. Just slightly better than minimal. Alright. The oscillators are still both totally bearish, so even though we've got a bullish alignment and a bullish parabolic, there's a good chance that this is going to head lower. There's also a possibility that if this was the end of a corrective pattern, we could have a 1, 2, 3, and if this is 4, it's probably not going to complete until it gets closer to the red. So I think there's some downward movement left in this thing. Let's go ahead and short this and turn her back on. Okay, both targets hit. And notice our stoke is going into the lower half of the scale. Let's see if we get another time to go short some more. Well, this is breaking to the downside. It's breaking here. It's breaking here. Let's get short. Well, let's flip the parabolic, but that's not necessarily going to make or break us here. Look at the white moving averages hanging in there below the red. And our MACD and our stochastic are remaining bearish here. So, yep, sure enough, this thing's going to turn around. And it's going to go all the way down to the next target. Yes, it is. Okay. Well, let's just run the clock out because we're almost to the end. And so we got in a little before that, didn't we? So we've got that there. All right. Let's check our score. $1,987.50. That's a pretty decent score for 3 contracts. And let's count up our trades here. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So 13 and 0, 1987.50. We've been hanging in the same ballpark pretty consistently there. All right, well, thank you for coming by, and come back and see us again tomorrow.